you get us lost again?
I didn't get us lost. Just Mike said the bar was this way.
Why you always have to blame the Mexican?
You're Mexican?
Look, let's focus.
Hey, did you hear that?
Yeah. Hey, we found the Mad Please cave.
Oh, really, Sherlock? Shut up and let's listen.
Yeah, Mike, shut up. It's time for the Mad Please Show.
Today's show is brought to you by Top Studios,
where they specialize in voiceovers, audio, and video production. Contact them at 732-781-8032.
We're getting on board the Mad Please train and leaving the station, so get on board.
All right. Welcome to the Mad Please Show. I am indeed your host. I'm glad to be so. It's 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Today's Willoughby Wednesday, March 26th, 2014. Happy to be with you guys, and appreciate y'all tuning in. We've got a good show in store for you today, and I want to encourage you to call in. Our number is 336-763-5482. Write it down and call in. Don't be afraid. It's just the internet. It's just the entire planet. I mean, it's one planet. You know, there's trillions of planets. It's just one planet, so big deal, right? So call in and comment on the episode, or comment on whatever you want to comment on. And, of course, I'd like you to keep it clean, but, you know, it is internet radio, right? But I'd have to click the explicit. I'd have to put a check mark in the explicit box if somebody called in and said, "Hey, look, you're a," because I don't have a cough drop button. So I probably shouldn't have told you that. Now I'm going to get all kind of calls. Hey, guess what? And say something. Say cuss word or something. But, you know, I can go back and edit the show. That's right. There's always ways around your tomfoolery. Well, we got a really, I think it's a very interesting little episode today of The Twilight Zone. This is Season 5. It's Disc 1. Season 5 was the last year. I don't know if I corrected myself. When I first started this segment, I said that The Twilight Zone ran from, 56 to 61. Well, I was incorrect. I went back and double-checked myself, and it turns out that The Twilight Zone ran from 59 to 64. So that's the 5 years. So it's still, you know, I keep saying that it really represents the 50s, but, you know, toward the end of the 50s, you're not really out of the 50s yet. You know, the 60s didn't really become the 60s until, like, 65, you know, when the Mustang, 1965 Mustang came out. That's when the 60s actually became the 60s. So it's still a representation. But, you know, there are episodes that kind of show little hints of what's coming in the 60s on some of these. I'm going to play some of those for you, too, at some point. And because I find this fascinating. But today's show, today's Twilight Zone episode is called, well, first, let me say this. There's a movie. How many of you know or are familiar with a movie? It's not an old movie. I've got it. It's a Blu-ray. It's a good movie, good sci-fi movie. It's called Real Steel with Hugh Jackman. It's I got it as soon as I could because, you know, I like those kind of movies, the special effect type movies. And I used to watch Ultraman when I was a kid, and you know, it was a giant robot, so I like big robots. This kind of took me back, but It's called Real Steel, and it's about people don't box anymore. Robots do, and they build these robots, and they look like badass robots. I ain't lying. I mean, they would stomp you down in a heartbeat, but they're not. They're of course computer generated, but they sure do look real, and so it's a movie about Hugh Jackman. He's kind of broke. This is what he does for a living. He fights. He's always got an old robot, and it's always on its last leg, and he owes, several people in the city money that he's borrowed to buy a new robot, and he's always trying to get out of trouble. It's that type of movie. And he has a son, and his son is kind of estranged, but they hook up because I'm not going to tell you the whole thing because it doesn't matter. But anyway, he comes across some money. He buys a really expensive robot, and the thing gets destroyed its first fight. So he's totally out. Can't pay back the money. And so they take it to the junkyard. Anyway, the kid finds this old robot. It's an old generation robot. It was like a sparring robot. And he finds it at the junkyard. It's under a bunch of trash, and he digs it out, and the thing still works. And so he talks to his dad. He really wants it. He wants his own robot. So he gets it, and they take it back, and they put it in shape, and it's got some neat little features, but it's just a real tough little old robot. And anyway, it's about them going and fighting all these new robots, these fancier robots, and this little robot. It's almost like a Rocky kind of story, but it's robots. Anyway, it's a good movie. It says it's Rocky with robots, a heartwarming movie. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, people would look at this movie, as I did, and think, God, that was a cool movie. Finally, somebody came out and did a robot boxing kind of special effect kind of movie. Finally, somebody's done it. Well, as it turns out, I don't think that they came up with the idea at all. I think they ripped the idea off. Or, maybe they got permission, but who knows. But that movie's called Real Steel. Okay? Well, this episode of Twilight Zone is called Steel. And I'll give you just a little synopsis. Is that the right word for it? It's also about a robot. Boxing is illegal, and now they fight with robots. And this guy has an older version of a robot, and he's just trying to just got to make a little bit of money, man. I just need that. We got one more fight in us, man. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta pay my bills. I know he's got one more fight in him. Nah, he's washed up, kid. He's no good. He's no, Anyway. So, anyway, that's so this is the episode that we are going to listen to. And I'm so excited because you're going to enjoy it, I think. So, we're going to take a break.
Making beautiful memories last. Top Studios professional photo, audio, and video production. We offer unique packages not found anywhere else. Our wedding package includes a 30-second high-production video or audio invitation and a fairy tale love story video with professional narration. Top Studio will also give you a beautiful photo album with high-quality pictures that you can show your loved ones time and time again. For more information, call 732-781-8032.
I have a particular set of skills that I have acquired. And if you listen to the Man Please show, that will be the end of it. if you don't, I will look for you, and I will find you, and tickle you till you cry.
All right, did you do the dishes?
I did.
Did you vacuum?
I did.
You're not going to blow your nose at the table anymore?
No, I won't.
Okay, you drive.
All right, let's go.
And don't embarrass me by yelling yippee when we get there.
Okay.
Sarah's Kebab Shop. Treat yourself to a menu that includes a wide range of food options from beef or chicken kebabs to one of the tastiest burgers in town. Hot and cold subs and Greensboro's best gyros. Sarah's Kebab Shop. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Located at 5553 West Market Street in Greensboro, right beside the DMV. And call them at 336-355-9260. Sarah's Kebab Shop. Reward yourself. Yippee! Man, please.
I know that's right. Man, please. That's what you're listening to, the Man Please Show. I'm your host, Trog. It's about 11 minutes after 3:11. 11. I asked my wife the other day, how come we always say living room? Living. Why is that easier than living? Living room. Where are you going, honey? I'm going to the living room. But I say, where are you going, honey? I'm going to the living room. Living. Anyway, this Twilight Zone episode it's kind of hilarious because I guess back then they hadn't really figured out that people can tell when things really aren't as heavy as you're trying to imply that they are, you know, because if it's light, it's really difficult, and not a whole lot of people are good enough actors to make it look like it's heavy. It's either light or heavy, you know, and you can tell by the way it moves when you move it. So they kind of got that wrong, which you won't be able to see, so I'm just going to be laughing myself at it. And also, you know, the way they move it around. They got it on, you know, the old-fashioned skates, the metal wheel skates. First of all, who in the world would invent a metal wheel roller skate? I mean, I know we had rubber then, but maybe, I don't know, maybe all the rubber was hard to come by because of the war effort. That's very possible. So, but anyway, that's what they used to move this robot around roller skates, and this, you know, the skate will, one of the wheels would fall off. They tilt it back. That's when you could tell that it didn't weigh what a robot should weigh. They tilt it back, you know, and it was like a dolly, you know, a hand truck with nothing on it. And then Lee Marvin is in this episode. He's the star of this episode. A young Lee Marvin. He would bend down and grab the wheel and stick it back in the little socket there. You know, really high technology back then. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when people were watching it back then, they thought, wow, man, that thing looks real. Look at that. It can't get no better than that. You know, TV can't get no better than that. We've been saying that since TV came out. Oh, man, I ain't got no snow on my TV. You can't get no better than that. Okay, well, let's see here. I'm gonna start this and see what happens. Ooh.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas.
You know, they changed